What's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy Mel. Welcome back to the SU Gang podcast. So today it's just me. Austin's a little busy. He's traveling back to his hometown, I believe. He's on spring break. Bobby's in school. So it's just me today. I uploaded a video yesterday. It was an Austin solo. He did pretty good talk. Seahawks talk and stuff. SMU. Overall, just like updating what the channel's gonna look like. Overall, I think he's done a pretty good job. He gives us most of the ideas. He does a really good job, man. He also writes his own articles. An Instagram account, multiple, but he runs one called Russell Wilson Worshipper, which if you guys didn't listen yesterday, he runs that. It's a pretty cool football page he has. But yeah, so today there's been a lot of NFL news going on, a little bit more than when Austin was on camera. And I want to go over that, just a quick brief overload. And then we're going to do a baseball episode. We're going to try to get Bobby back pretty soon. I think he's going to be back pretty soon. And he likes all sports, but he does like baseball as much as I do. So, it's going to be nice to have him back. And we're going to get him back and do like an MLB predictions podcast and stuff. And, recap the WBC, which, by the way, Venezuela won last night. Today, it's going to be Venezuela versus U.S. the final. It's going to be an awesome game. Go U.S., but I also like Venezuela. They have my boy Daniel Palencia. It's a win-win for me, honestly. A Cub is guaranteed to win the World Baseball Classic, so I'm really, really excited about that. But anyway, let's get into some football news. So this morning, as of 9:30 a.m. or something, 10 a.m., Adam Schefter reported that the Denver Broncos have traded for star wide receiver Jaylen Waddle, which is a big move. And actually, it was pretty ironic. This morning, when I woke up, I saw a TikTok from Elite Takes. Shout out to Nico. He was talking about what the hell are the Broncos doing this offseason? What is Sean Payton doing? What are they doing? They've done nothing. What's the best move they made? They brought back John Franklin Myers, but they lost Drake Greenlaw. They basically they didn't do nothing this offseason. They were just gonna run it back, and running it back is a big mistake because the Chiefs did that last year after being 15-2 or something, or 14-3, and look at them now. They 6-11, missed the playoffs, but that's also a little different. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes got injured, but I will be fair and say that they were 6-7. I'm not trying to be funny here. They were 6-7 before Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL. I believe that was the injury. But as he makes that video, a few minutes later, I get a notification from Adam Schefter. The Denver Broncos trade a first-round pick, third-round pick, and fourth-round pick all this year for Jaylen Waddle. It's late first, late third, late fourth, obviously, because they were the third or fourth final team to be eliminated. So, it's just naturally going to be a late pick. But yeah, it's a pretty good trade for the Broncos, man. You're going to have a good wide receiver duo with Jaylen Waddle and Marvin Mims, but not Jaylen Waddle. Jaylen Waddle, Cortland Sutton. I believe Marvin Mims is still there. Evan Ingram. So, hey, man, Bo Nix, he's going to have one hell of a season, I believe. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for Bo Nix. I'm happy for him. You're gonna get yourself. You're gonna get yourself a true wide receiver one, and honestly, Cortland Sutton, he was great, and he is great, and I like him. But this is just, to me, Jaylen Waddle's better. I just don't think he was. I wouldn't say utilized properly because the Dolphins had a lot of good years, good offensive years. Like Mike McDaniel, I know he wasn't the best coach, but he did know how to run a good offense, in my opinion. And Jaylen Waddle had good seasons, but, being overshadowed by Tyreek Hill, you're not going to put up naturally as good numbers as you probably want to, or as much as you probably think you can when you have fucking Tyreek Hill. And obviously Tyreek Hill is getting older, but it's fucking Tyreek Hill, man. He's fucking awesome. So, yeah, I'm really happy for the Broncos. I'm happy for Jaylen Waddle, man. He's going to be able to play with Bo Nix. I feel bad for the Dolphins. I feel bad for Malik Willis because I thought he was going into a pretty solid situation with the now number one Broncos receiver and Devon A-Chain. And I thought Malik Willis, I was excited for Malik Willis, but now I'm starting to get a little worried because the Dolphins lost a lot of players and they're taking a lot of penalties as well, themselves. If we look at Adam Schefter, I believe the Dolphins are now $150 million in dead money. No, they're now over 175 million in dead money. Um, this season. It's just crazy. Tua Tagovailoa 50 million, Tyreek Hill 28.2 million, Jaylen Waddle, who they just traded, 26.3 million, Jalen Ramsey 20.9 million, Minka Fitzpatrick 13 million, Bradley Chubb 10.9 million, Teron Armstead 10.7 million, James Daniels for 8. Okay, and then it just kind of gets lower. Zach Wilson, Jonnu Smith, Nick Westbrook, Akine. So yeah, it gets lower, but man, that's just really bad, and that's just really bad by the ownership, honestly. I know that they didn't really like Tua. He tends to not be clutch and stuff, but he did put up good numbers. But I understand. I understand why they let Tua go, and I understand why they were willing to take a big, dead money hit for the season, right? But this is just terrible. I mean, this is legitimately just. I mean, it's horrible. Like, I actually feel terrible for Dolphins fans, and like, it's just like, how can you stay competitive with over $175 million in dead money? Like, that's just insane. Like, $175 million in dead money, it's not a rebuild, in my opinion. That's just a disaster. That's just an absolute disaster. And this front office has managed to pay half of the roster to not play for them. That's terrible. That's absolutely horrible. And I just feel terrible for Dolphins fans, man. This is a very big hole that they've dug themselves in, and it's gonna be a very big hole to dig out of, and it's gonna take a little while, man. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. They may have a lot of cap space next year, but dude, this is just ridiculous. I mean, this is terrible. Like, I don't even know like how this is even real. Like, this is not a cap hit. This is like just financial self-harm. Just honestly, like, this is terrible. I feel bad for Dolphins fans. As I'm recording, per Adam Schefter, former Panthers free agent DJ Wonnum signs a 1-year deal worth up to $6 million with the Detroit Lions. So that's interesting, and that's actually a pretty decent move. Lions are building up the trenches slowly but surely. The Lions, when they weren't even that bad last year, but Lions' best years were always through the trenches. And honestly, dude, getting better defense, building up the trenches defensively is also going to be a really good thing, especially when you have a difference maker like Aiden Hutchinson. So, yeah, shout out to the Lions for that. But, hey, man, listen, back to the Dolphins. That's just terrible. That's just terrible on their part. They did get a first, third, and fourth. That's good value. That's really good value. Three picks this year. I like that. But, no, dude, that's just mismanagement, man. Mismanagement. But a shout out to the Broncos. Some other moves that happened today. Wyatt Teller signed, I believe, a 2-year deal with the Texans. So shout out to the Texans for that. That's pretty big move. I know Austin wanted him. I believe he wanted him on the Bills, if I'm not mistaken. I know Austin wanted Wyatt Teller on one of his teams. So Austin, if I'm wrong, I believe it's the Bills. Just correct me on that. But yeah, free agent, offensive tackle Austin Decklis signed with the Tennessee Titans. So that's interesting. Also, speaking of linemen, J.C. Tretter. Yeah, J.C. Tretter has been hired as the new executive director of the NFLPA, which is actually really, really interesting. And as I'm talking, the Vikings have signed Bills RFA tackle Ryan Van Denmark. So that's just a small. But anyway, going back to what I was talking about, this is actually really interesting. J.C. Tretter is going to lead the NFLPA as the union's 5th executive director. Executive director. Man, I've had a long day. I'm like not using my words properly. But that's actually really, really interesting. Like, honestly, players taking, NFL roles like this after they're done playing, I think it's actually good for the league. They're younger, they know more, they're not ruining the league like Robert Kraft. No, not Robert Kraft. I'm stupid. Roger Goodell. I don't know. What was that? What am I doing here, man? Lock in, Mal. Lock in. But but yeah, man. That's as far as the NFL news that I've seen so far. Oh yeah, Eagles sign Hollywood Brown 1-year deal. So yeah, not too crazy since obviously last week. Last week was obviously crazy. It's always gonna be that way. But yeah, we've had some more. Some more news since Austin's recorded. Yeah, Jaylen Waddle being the main headline of today's video is where I'm at, and just want to go back to the Broncos real quick, man. I'm so happy for Bo Nix. I know I said that, but dude, Jaylen Waddle, Cortland Sutton, Pat Bryant, Marvin Mims, little Jordan Humphrey. This is a great move. But they have made 0 outside free agent signings to this. So, it's a big move for them, especially since they've been really quiet. Speaking of quiet, Bears have been really quiet, which, like I've said before, if it means that we're going to be winning, if it's the cost of being a good team, if it's the cost of winning football games, then I'll take it, man. Because every year we're off-season champs, get this guy, get that guy, and then we disappoint. But hey, man, sometimes the teams that have the boring off seasons are the ones that do good when it matters, when the games matter. We've always been off season and preseason champions, and then the regular season comes, we suck. But hey, who had a bad off season? Or not say bad off season, but who had a off season that felt torturous last year? The Seattle Seahawks. And where are they now? Reigning defending Super Bowl champs. Won the Super Bowl a month ago. It's reverse psychology, people. If you have a bad offseason, you're gonna do good in the regular season and in the postseason. If you have a good offseason, you're gonna suck. Okay, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for football news. Maybe I'll go into the Bears just a little bit. What are we doing, man? Listen, I know we've lost a lot of defensive players this offseason, and I know that our defense wasn't the best last year, although we were very turnover heavy. I get it. It's not sustainable or whatnot. But, are we going to do something to replace these guys? Are we going to spend some type of money? L'Jarius Sneed is still available. We've lost our whole safety room and redeemed ourselves a little bit with Kobe Bryant and Devin Bush. What else are we doing? Khalif Raymond, Garrett Bradbury? Okay. Garrett Bradbury, I like that move. But, dude, what are we doing, Ryan Poles? Maybe work a trade for Max Crosby, or you don't like the physical stuff? No? You don't want to deal with the same thing the Ravens dealt with? What's going on, man? He should be good by week 1. Why not trade for him? We need a difference maker on our defense. I'm just saying. Need a pass rusher. I need a pass rusher that can be a legit difference maker. And if we draft a guy, again, I'm gonna need that guy to be fucking rookie year Micah Parsons. I'm gonna need that. Okay? Or else our defense is gonna suck. But hey, man, listen, we still have guys. I'm just really concerned. How are we gonna replace any of our guys? Listen, I know our secondary kind of got cooked in some ways. Sean Wright, he was a turnover machine, but he got burnt in coverage a ton last year. Jalen Johnson, he was playing hurt, so I can kind of excuse him for it. I always feel like he's always been a very lockdown corner, but he didn't have his best year last year. Kevin Byard was great, but we let him walk. Jaquan Brisker, I'm going to miss you. You had your good moments, you had your bad moments, but man, I love you, Jaquan Brisker. You're going to fit that Steelers defense great. So, yeah, CJ Gardner-Johnson, he's gone. So, got to find some safety replacements. Nickel corner, looks like Kyler Gordon's going to play that. But, hey, man, come on, guys, let's lock in, because I'm starting to get a little worried here, okay? I'm really getting worried here. We freed up a bunch of cap space. What are we doing? But, yeah, that's enough Bears talk. March Madness, I'm going to be honest, I'm not the biggest basketball knower. If you subscribe to my main channel, Mal Cubby, I am looking forward to doing March Madness content, just reaction videos, just so I can kind of get to know basketball a little bit more. And maybe I could do some NBA reaction videos, so make sure to check out my main channel. I'm going to try to, do that. And then baseball. I don't want to get into baseball too much because I'm thinking of doing an exclusive baseball video with Bobby, just predicting MLB team season, but I guess I can just preview today's World Baseball Classic final game, championship game, USA, baby. So we got USA playing against Venezuela. Venezuela last night caught a win against Italy, and it was 4-2 final score, and was it Eugenio Suarez? They were down 2-0, and Eugenio Suarez hit a solo home run to just, get them on the board, get the momentum back on their side, and then Luis Arias came through with a big hit. Ronald Acuna came through with the game-tying hit, and then I believe Michael Garcia came in with the insurance run, and then my boy Daniel Palencia, my boy throws 100. He closed out the game, so really electric, really exciting. Venezuela, man, they have such an electric lineup, man. From Ronald Acuna to Jackson Churio to William Contreras to Wilson Contreras to Salvador Perez, Luis Arias, Willie Abreu, Michael Garcia. They have a good lineup, man. But the pitching, yes, you have Daniel Palencia. Ranger Suarez struggled. I'm a little concerned. With the pitching a little bit. Why? Because USA's pitching is better. USA's pitching is just better than anyone's, and that's why USA's here. That's why the Dominican Republic isn't here. And I know that you're going to say, oh, well, the Dominican Republic, they got bailed out because of a bad call. Yes, I'm not going to lie. That was a terrible call, and the ABS system should have been in the WBC. But at the end of the day, they left so many runners in scoring position They left the bases loaded like twice. Multiple runners in scoring position twice. They didn't capitalize. Why didn't they capitalize? Well, I believe it's because USA's pitching is good. You got David Bednar in the bullpen. You got Paul Skeens doing his thing. You got fucking Mason Miller throwing 104 miles per hour. Fucking USA's pitching is just so good, and that's the difference maker. That's the difference maker. We have elite pitching, and I'm glad we do, because pitching is what matters, especially in tournaments like these, in games like these, important games that have a postseason feeling to them. That's when pitching is going to be at its greatest. That's what playoff baseball is all about. This is not the playoffs, but this pretty much has that playoff feel to it, right? Like in the playoffs, for example, let's use the Cubs Padres series as an example. Every game was low scoring because pitching comes through more than offense does in the playoffs. You don't really see many high-scoring games in the playoffs, or just in important games, because you need the game to be within reach. So you tend to want to pitch well, right? So that's why it matters so much, and that's why cinematic games like Dominican Republic, USA, it was a low-scoring game, and I think that's what it's going to be tonight. I think it's going to be cinematic. I think it's going to be low-scoring. I think both offenses are going to struggle a little bit. I think Venezuela is obviously going to play their hearts out, but their pitching they're going to be lights out today. But they're going to make some mistakes because USA's lineup is just better than Venezuela's, and that's unfortunate. If Venezuela wins, you can clown me all you want. Okay? But I just don't think they have a better lineup than USA. I just don't think they have a better pitching than USA. USA came in as favorites into this tournament, and they need to show why. This is their opportunity now. They've done it all tournament except against Italy. But hey, Italy's not here anymore. They're done. So yeah, man. USA, come through, man. Come through. PCA, I love you. No, but yeah, man. That's my preview. I think USA will win like 3-2. Low scoring, but still gonna be a very fun game. So I'm really, really excited. Other than that, though, we got opening day 9 days away for the Cubbies. So I'm excited. But yeah, man, March Madness. You let Austin and Bobby talk about that. Let them talk about the NBA. I have no ball knowledge when it comes to basketball. But hey, man, I'm so excited. Baseball's here, and I hope you guys enjoy the game tonight if you are a baseball fan. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Football news kind of dying down, but at least there was something today. But hey, yeah, that's it, man. That's gonna cap it off, man. Really appreciate you. You're stuttering. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Excited for what's to come for this podcast. I can't wait. I can't wait to do like a whole trio with me, Austin, and Bobby. And I'm just really thankful that we're doing this. I think this is really going to take off. I really do. So I thank you guys for your support, man. Make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Turn that notification button on, bro. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Peace out.